Hey, welcome back, everybody. Mark here from Rams Up with Paul Walia. What's going on, Paul? How you doing in this post AD era?
Yeah, still smarting from the retirement, but like I said, AD 99 equals Hall of Fame. So thank
Yeah,
you for everything.
I see your new label there. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna call this an AD draft after Donald, our first after Donald draft, and that's what Paul and I were talking. What we're gonna do here, we're probably gonna trade back. We're gonna probably try to trade back just to experiment more or less given that we have a new need that we didn't foresee, and maybe we need to accumulate an extra pick. And I think it seems to be a consensus that that 16 to 23 spot in the draft, that area in the draft is not really the ideal place to be. And I think if we could pick up an extra pick or two, moving back into the late 20s, or move up. But this particular day, this particular mock, we're going to try to move back. Is that what we're going to try to do, Paul?
Yeah, our assumptions have been pretty rock solid over the last couple of mocks, right? We said Darius Williams or Weatherspoon. We got Darius Williams, so that worked out pretty well. Unfortunately, we didn't predict AD, but and we have a safety now, Curl, which was a great signing. So and
An
we have
offensive line, and the offensive line seems pretty settled.
completely intact,
Yeah.
completely intact. So it gives us a lot of flexibility. And I'll go on record as saying the Rams should invest all their time and effort in figuring out how to get Allen from Jacksonville, right, and make that happen. A young player, an ascending player, an absolute superstar. And I think Jacksonville knows that his future is probably somewhere outside of Jacksonville. So
And that's something that we'll deal with another day, maybe, because the Rams would probably have to give up some significant draft capital this year and next, perhaps. But
there you go.
yeah, that could be the answer. But this day, I'm going to go ahead and share this the draft screen I have ready for you from the NFL mock draft database, and we'll get this rolling. Today, we'll discount the possibility of trading for Josh Allen, and we'll see if we can add a pick or two, see how it goes. And another day, perhaps we will try to trade up. Okay, let me get this started here. And we will wait till the Rams' 19th pick, see what trade offers come up. If there's something juicy, I did one earlier today just as a trial run, and Detroit gave us a pretty good offer. I don't know how do you feel about this one? Let's page through it. We want to get late into the first round, see if there's anything. Is that your preference, late in the
Yep,
first round?
I would like to get that, sure. The whole idea of Ram Nation is to get as many picks as possible. As we see, Houston's offering a ton here, but nothing in the first round, all second round. Okay.
So let's see if I
Let's
look
offer
at,
Tampa Bay. Let's offer Tampa.
pardon.
Oh, actually, let's see what we have here. We might be able to make this work. All right, let's take a look. You want to trade back or you want to go with what we have?
Well, if you, I see you're eyeballing Byron Murphy probably, right? Yeah, it's up to you. I mean,
let's change, let's change it up. Let's change it. We've done our standard picks for how many weeks now? Let's change it up. Let's draft. Let's trade back. We want the fans out there to see what would happen if we trade back. Let's trade back with Tampa Bay. Let's see if we can get back to Tampa Bay.
okay, we will see what makes sense to what's it going to take to move back to the 26th pick. We're going to give up the 19th, and we want the 26th. And I'm not sure where to go here. Do we want to maybe ask for their fourth as well?
Let's see what we got. We wanna fill that gap. Let's ask for their fourth. Okay, good.
So that's actually we're asking for. Uh, um, it's we're giving up too much. So maybe we should ask for that 392, the 92nd pick overall.
Okay.
So we'll ask for the 26th, and That seems to be a fair trade. We might even be able to get the 89th. It's still a little bit in their favor.
Let's try it.
Let's try it just in case. We want to do it. We don't want to cheat ourselves here. And the 89th, and they're accepting that one. It's a little bit in their favor, but I think for this example, this will work, right?
Absolutely.
Go with that?
Let's do it.
So we drop to the 26th pick, and we pick up an extra pick, the 89th pick overall. We'll reject all additional.
That is
let's
correct.
What's here.
And we're going to roll with what we have, Ram Nation. We're going to make it work. We lost AD, but at the same time, we don't want to get desperate. We want to get maximum value. We're definitely going to have a D first philosophy, and there we go. Bingo. It did work in our favor. Let's scroll down just a tad, Market, if you don't mind. Bing. Oh, there's your buddy, Lad McConkey at 34, yeah. Mark is ready to click that button.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, it would be a luxury. I'd love to have him, but at this point, we're still a little thin at cornerback. Are we going to get an impact edge rusher at this point?
I think we go Chop Robinson.
You want to go Chop Robinson?
Yep. I think we go Chop Robinson, strong side edge.
Okay. Is that the pick?
That's the pick.
There's a lot of conversations across the cyberspace about who the best edge rusher, Robinson, Verse, or Latu. You like Verse the most, don't you?
I love Verse. I think, players that can play the strong side as well as the weak side give you tremendous flexibility.
Now, what I did on my, and you can do whatever you want. I'm just sharing some thoughts here. I did a mock draft earlier today, similar to this one, and by the end of the first six picks, I had the running back from Notre Dame, and then I had a defensive lineman, a cornerback, a safety, a linebacker, an edge rusher. Just populated every defensive position group. What's your strategy here? Are you thinking the same thing? There's some linebackers there.
You can't replace Aaron Donald, but what we're going to do is we're going to try to make this defense bigger and nastier and bring that 99 mentality to this squad. Now, the problem we face is we really don't know what Chris Shula has in mind. So we're going to just sort of project. So we got Demarius Robinson. We know we got Byron Young on the other side. So already we also have Hoyt. So we got three rotational players, three players in the rotation, but two definitive starters in Chop Robinson and Byron Young. So Edge Cooper is one of my favorite players, but we know it's really hard for the Rams to get that extra linebacker. That's just not the way their scheme is set up. Although, if you put Edge Cooper out there, holy moly, that takes on, next to Ernest Jones, takes on a whole new dimension. So Chris Braswell, we could really, really go bananas with the edge rushers. But let's scroll down. I want to see Ram Nation. I'm going to keep an eye on Makai Wingo. He's one of the D linemen I want us to sort of walk away. And there he is. Okay, we're good. We're going to go with my buddy, a row. There you go.
And how would you just give the listeners and viewers a little bit of insight on him? Is he I know we've talked about him before. He's an interior defensive lineman. Go ahead.
If the Rams go into their tight front, he could do that 4-eye. He could do either the one. I mean, he can play anywhere on the line. He's just scratching, like I said last time, the surface of his potential. Tremendous combination of size and speed. I call him the Nigerian Nightmare Part 2. So I think he would be a huge impact player for the Rams to get him.
And the big picture here, we added Cameron Curl on the back end. We added Darius Robinson. We lost Aaron Donald, but we add a promising interior defensive lineman, and we add to the edge rushing group. So things are looking a little less desperate at this point.
Yeah, so
I'm not worried about our offense at all, really, right?
Let's think about this. So you got Byron Young, Chop Robinson, We got Root.
Nick Hampton.
We can move Conductor over to the weak side, and then we got our boy Bobby Brown in the middle. Maybe also another rotational D tackle that can play on the inside as well. We got Jonah Williams. We could probably bring him back, and then you got DeJuan Johnson. So I think we're definitely going to walk away. Do me a favor, take a look at DL Makai Wingo. What's he ranked at? One. Oh, did we lose him already? Don't say that. Yes, we did. You see that? Look at that. Somebody must have heard me say it. There it is. And Mount McKinley got taken, so they definitely know my faves. Okay, interesting. All right, so we have to adapt on the fly. Mark, let's take a look at all. This is what the draft is all about. This is what separates the guys that jump in the pool versus. All right, let's take a look at what we got here. I don't think we're ever going to let them. Are we ever going to let them live that down?
Yeah, I know. I wonder who that was. Hey, so how do you feel about our cornerback group right now?
That's what I'm going to take a look at. Scroll down just a tad.
Although there's a chance we sign White, the Buffalo Bills free agent.
Yeah, if he stays healthy, that would be a great signing. A very aggressive.
Yeah, our cornerback room would be pretty much. We'd be set good to go for the most part.
I know a lot of people like Mason Smith, but to me, he doesn't really do much for me in terms of when I watch him. But he's definitely got a lot of potential. All right, it'll be hit cornerback. Let's see who the top. Let's see if Kyrie Jackson is there, or there he goes. Bingo. All right, we have a bunch of nice corners. We got Abrams Strain. Let's go. We need a big corner. Let's go, Kyrie Jackson. There we go. So we already got 3 solid players for our defense, right? Now the trade back is really going to pay off here because, Mark, let's take a look. Let's take a look back at that. Interesting. Let's take a look at linebacker for a second. There we go.
Trevin Wallace again.
Always.
You just love that guy.
Everybody out there is like, don't draft the same players every time. So I promised a couple of people I wouldn't. All right, hit all. Let's do BPA. I think this is where we can get maximum value. Bingo. There we go. Scroll down. Oh, wow. We got some real players on here now. Scroll up.
Got some safeties too.
Yep. Interesting. All right. Mark, do you mind hit you checked the linebacker. Hit corner again. Go ahead. DJ James.
Back-to-back corners.
There you go. Now, look how big. Now, look at our cornerback setup. Right? Not too shabby. Okay, you can reject that. So Ram Nation, why we did this in this format with the 2 corners, we want these big corners that are going to fly down and defend the run. But one thing I do like about James, he's a big play corner. Kyrie Jackson, same way. Both throw their body around fairly well. A little on the thin side, both of them. But like I said, workout regimen in the NFL makes a big difference. The other part of me wanted to take Adisa Isaac and just overwhelm teams with that pass rush, but I had to temper that a bit. All right.
And one thing that I would think the Rams may do, just throwing my 2 cents worth in it here again, is they're going to go heavy on defensive line, aren't they?
Absolutely.
They have to.
And we're gonna wind up walking away with another D lineman soon. I already see the rankings before. So for Ram Nation, my goal was to walk away with Rook and Makai Wingo or Byron. If we went early in the first round, we could go Byron Young slips down. You could go Byron Young and Makai Wingo, because I think both those 2 would really look nice in the Rams.
Yeah, let's make a mental note to ourselves that next time we do this, we will run it however many times it takes and find a scenario where Young drops to us,
At
we
19.
draft him and we go from there.
I
That'll
like
be
I like Byron Young a lot. I think he would fit really, really well on the Rams. Bring a nice dimension to. He is an absolute beast. All right, let's take a look at all. Look at that. Idisa Isaac is still on the board. How do you not take this kid at 73? Look at this. At 99. Mark, we would have a ridiculous pass rush. Oh my goodness.
he's pretty much a sure thing, you feel?
I think he's a great development. If you're going to spend time developing a pass rusher, I mean, a kid like that is who you want. Kid can run. He's got great length. Let's see who we got on the D line. Hit D line for a second. Like you got Carter. A lot of people like this kid Carter. They call him Mr. Duke. All right, let's take a look at linebacker.
Yeah, we haven't gotten our linebacker yet.
Yeah, surprising, right? Let's take a look at safety. Teron Hopper is another one that fit in the Rams scheme. See that kid, Teron Hopper there? So Mark, remember we said that 3 safety look with Bullard? That might be intriguing here as well.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're still. I mean, we have right now our starters would appear to be Russ Yeast and Curl, which hey, that could be a pretty nice pair. But after that,
Or Curl and Lake, right? Curl and Lake. May have somebody else play the star. Hit wide receiver. Yeah, a lot of people like this kid Devontae Walker. We're gonna go. 154 would be our next pick. Let's go Luke McCaffrey. That's our developmental wide receiver. Bingo.
That's the pick.
Go. That's the pick.
And that's the one of the 3 opportunities to ding the 49ers. Take someone in their family tree there.
There we go. We know we got 154 and 155, so that's a big gap.
Yeah, we did not pick up the 4th round pick, but we got the late 3rd round, so that's even better.
Big gap hurts you a little bit. You have to wait, but now you got the back-to-back, and now we can have a little bit of fun. But we walked away, Ram Nation. Take a look at that. We got 2 top-notch corners, right, to go along with Darius Williams, right? And
we got, Kendrick and Durant aren't lost causes by any stretch. Yeah.
There you go. You got a lot of depth there. And listen, in this league, you have to be able to cover.
And Trey Tomlinson, we don't know what we have with him yet, but he's another guy.
So there you go. All right. I like this. All right, hit all, please. There you go. All right. Let's scroll down a tad. We're not going to neglect offense either. We're going to do what makes sense. All right.
There's a few names there that you really like, I know.
I know. I take Vaki every draft, so I'm going to change it. I promised Mark I would change it up, so I'm going to change it. See, look at that. I can't really change it up. Scroll up again.
Trevin Wallace is still there.
Oh, right. Oh, love it. I love it. Both these tackles offer tremendous value here. Gonzalez and Javon Foster. Wow. Okay. I think we should, we got to help out. I know we got a lot of depth on the O-line, but let's take a look. Who do we have at edge? Solomon. See, Solomon's great value there too. And who do we have at linebacker? Trayvon Wallace.
I mean, if you really love the player, if you've taken him before, as long as you're not, mapping directly to a previous draft,
Exactly. I mean, it's just like sitting there. An IOL interior O-line. I would love for us to get some interior O-line depth. Yeah. Look at that. Oh, wow. Coleman at 166. All right. Okay. Hit all one more time, please. So many different ways to go here. Scroll down just a tad. All right, so Ram Nation, what I'm trying to map out right now. Gabe Hall, is he still on the board for DL? He'll be there later for us.
Well, hopefully. We got back-to-back here, so.
Yeah, scroll down just a tad. So I can see what's our pick after 155.
Oh, I'm sorry. 196.
196. All right, so let's do it. Scroll up on D-line. Let me see who we have. Justin Bogbe. All right, from Alabama. He would be a nice fit too. All right, we're gonna go Gabe Hall. I just think he gives us more flexibility. There you go. Right? They can grade it any way they want. We need a 3-4 lineman that can
Well, and they're grading you because you already took a defensive lineman, and they maybe have not accounted for the fact that Aaron Donald has retired, and
yeah.
the grade could reflect the thought process of why are you drafting multiple defensive linemen? You have Aaron when you have Aaron Donald and Kobe Turner. That's probably what's going on here.
But take a look at this: Ruka Roro, Gabe Hall, the conductor, Bobby Brown. Right there, you have a nice 4 up front.
Hey, who was the defensive lineman we talked about the last time that was even stronger than Gabe Hall? Was that Jordan Jefferson?
That was JJ. Now look at JJ's ranking now,
Yeah, he's still.
195. He moved up.
That's probably because of you, Paul.
I reckon listen. The STC, LSU D linemen know how to play nose tackle. Those guys know how to play on the interior, so you can't go wrong. All right, hit all again. So I think we're good with D line. I think we got a lot of toughness here, and we got a lot of size. And I know we got a lot of O linemen, but there's some great value right there. I'm going to go with Javon Foster.
And what type of tackle is he? I'm not familiar with him. Can he play either side?
Yeah, he can play either side. So it's interesting when you read a scouting report. Some people say he's a left tackle. Some people say he's not physical enough, but the kid is definitely talented. Missouri has a lot of really, really talented players this year on their team. They have the Lyman Robinson. They got Hopper, who I think is a great linebacker. And actually, let's see if he's still around. Linebacker, hit linebacker.
Yeah, I want to say one thing before I do that. The Rams are in a little bit of a dilemma at the quarterback position, signing Jimmy G. Now, he's going to be unavailable the first 2 games.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's going on with Stetson Bennett. They have a Dresser win. So I don't know what they're going to do with those first 2 games, but I wonder if they draft a quarterback. Probably not. But
makes the Jimmy G signing even more, unusual. Correct?
Yeah, right.
We were talking about it last time.
All right, hit linebacker for you.
Oh yes, here we go. By the way, this guy is for those of you out there, another great sleeper is this kid Tatum Bethune from Florida State, and this kid Leofau, Maris Leofau from Notre Dame. I love the way this kid plays. Curtis Jacobs. He's Roseboom all over again, but a better cover linebacker. All right, interesting.
Is that a compliment that you just gave him, or?
Well, in the Rams, what we call other middle linebackers, we often refer to them.
Right.
The other middle linebacker, which has a lot of coverage duties. Curtis Jacobs would fare well there. Hit all. I just want to see what we got, and we'll get this moving. So scroll down just a tad. Ram Nation, Brandon Coleman is another player. Interior lineman is just phenomenal. When you take a look at the totality of the drills at the combine, he fared very, very well. All right, we're going to go with Curtis Jacobs.
Where was he?
Linebacker.
The linebacker?
Yep.
By the way, they love the last 2 picks. The professor loved both your picks, 2 A+.
They make a ton of sense. All right. Remember, the draft is about walking away with talent. You don't try. Sometimes if you try to fill too many holes, you walk away with lesser talent. All right, hit all.
What have we not hit here? We have not hit safety, quarterback, interior offensive line, running back, tight end.
And now we can add a little bit more. There you go. I like it. All right. Now, 209, 213, ladies and gents and friends, we're going to walk away with tremendous value. We're going to add a very similar to, I would say about a 20, 25-pound lighter than Michael Hoyt, Brennan Jackson, but still a very similar type player. But let's do it. Brennan Jackson.
Is he the one that had somewhat of a poor combine? Was that him?
Actually, I mean, he did okay. He didn't go lights out, but he did okay. I think he impressed a lot of people. And then we're gonna go Malik Mustafa, add to that safety room. Bingo, there you go.
So yeah, we've man, our secondary could
Our
potentially
our,
be
our Puka
pretty.
picks are coming up. Our Puka picks are coming up. And to add to our running back room, Frank Gore Jr., and really stick it to the Niners.
Stick it
Right
to him twice. That's the pick.
there it is.
For everybody, what kind of running back is Frank Gore?
Oh, he is obviously on the smaller side, but small school player. When I say small school, not meaning um, small school meaning more of sort of under the radar. Southern Miss under the radar this year, but
Wait a second. What school did Jerry Rice go to?
Mississippi Valley State.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So look at that. Frank Gore Jr. I think now take a look at Rivers, Frank Gore Jr. We have the kid from Auburn, Evans. I mean, that's, Gore, runs well between the tackles. He's tough just like his dad. So I think he'd fit in nicely with that grouping. All right. Let's see what else we have. And
Last pick.
let's close with a bang. Let's hit all. Let's see who jumps out at us.
Sorry, I had it left on running backs there.
There we go. All right. So I'm still smarting from the Rams spending all that money at tight end. But oh wow. Okay. I see something there. Scroll down just a tad. Tanner McLaughlin, a lot of people like him as a tight end. They're sort of surprised about his ranking when you watch him play. This kid's got talent, man. But
Yeah, it's another position. It's a bit of dilemma for the Rams. They have Davis Allen and Parkinson. Obviously, they'll be good to go. They have those two
yeah,
guys signed to futures contracts, and then Hunter Long and Tyler Higbee coming back from serious injuries.
yeah,
So
they got a lot
yeah,
going on there, right?
yeah.
Scroll up for a second. See, there's Leofau. Look at that. He wound up coming back, right? He would have been a great pick later on, right? We already got our linebacker. And we have my buddy, the Rutgers linebacker, who's going to back up Ernest Jones. All right, you know what we'll do? This kid, Kingsley, I really like this kid, that interior lineman. Let's take him.
Where are you looking? Where are you looking? Interior
So,
offensive lineman?
yep, take a look right
Okay.
there. Bingo.
Oh,
See, Charles.
we've talked
Yep,
about him, haven't we? Yeah.
yep. And we talked about Charles Turner the third. I think he'd be great. He plays center. He could also play guard. He's tough as nails. Yeah, I think we should go with him. Can
There
never
we
have.
go.
And there's your solid O-line depth. And there you go. I think that's a rock solid draft built around getting as much firepower that can play right away. So, Chop Robinson, can he play right away? Absolutely. Can Rook play right away? Absolutely. Can Kyrie Jackson and DJ James play right away? Absolutely. Luke McCaffrey, he can contribute right away, obviously, developing as a wide receiver, but the perfect fourth wide receiver. You just run him into the mix there with D-Rob, King Cup, and, of course, Puka. Gabe Hall, the perfect 3-4 D lineman who can play anywhere. He can play the nose. He can play left D end, a right D end. He can two gap. He can gap and a half. He can play gap control, and he can rush the passer. So I think it'd be great. Javon Foster, just a talented tackle, needs to develop a little bit more, but he definitely has the potential. Definitely has the wheels to play tackle. Curtis Jacobs from Penn State, excellent cover linebacker. Has to toughen up against the run, but definitely a lot of potential there. Brennan Jackson is just Brennan Jackson. Kid plays hard off the edge, knows how to bull rush, knows how to use his size. Malik Mustafa led all defensive backs, I think, with what's it called? Bench press. Kid is just a beast. He's an absolute beast. And he's a friend of the conductor. So perfect.
Oh, right. Seems cool. Just realized that.
Frank Gore Jr. is Frank Gore Jr., right? If he's anything like his dad, we already got a plenty value. Tough runner between the tackles, um, knows how to take it to the house. And Kingsley just has a lot of potential. Another great interior lineman, can back you up at guard and center. So if you take a look at that draft, we walked away with one trade back and one extra pick, which we translated into another talented corner. And instantaneously, the weakest room on the team, right, along with D line, got much, much better, right? Two D linemen in the top, technically in the top 150. We took, what did we take? Gabe Hall at 154. Not bad at all. I'd be happy with this draft. You supplement it with some more veterans, I think you have a nice nucleus.
Yeah, and we come away with, I think it's 12 picks. Went in with 11, came out with 12. And, next time we do this, let's do that. Let's manipulate it so that we come away with the defensive tackle from Texas and stick to the 19, or maybe even have to trade up for it. And then we'll compare it to these results and see what it looks like.
Yeah, especially with D-line and wide receiver. I think, a lot of people are saying, oh, why are people talking about wide receiver? Because, the LSU kid that everybody keeps talking about, Brian Thomas Jr., he falls right at that spot. The drop off after Coleman, which is like sort of the last player in that tier, is huge. That's why. So you take Brian Thomas at 19, it might seem odd to people, but if you look at the four wide receivers that the Rams would be rolling out there, and with an eye to the future, it makes a ton of sense, right? It's not as odd as people are making it out to be.
Right.
And then I would probably go second round, get the best D lineman available or the best edge rusher available, right? We've done a couple of drafts where we've been able to walk away with an edge rusher. But it makes a lot of sense, in your back of your mind. You also got like a free agent signing like Clowney, which makes a lot of sense. So there are a lot of ways to go. But second round, you have to go either D-line or edge rusher, because after that, it gets a little light, particularly on the D-line.
Yeah, the other thing we have to do, maybe at our next roundtable, it'd be a really good topic for our next roundtable, actually, is try to nail down what the Rams' 6 or 8 man pod might be. They have these pods of players that they think realistically could be there at 19 and that they would draft. Try to nail down who those guys are. And, of course, with Aaron Donald retiring, it's going to be a little bit different than what we originally thought. Me and you traded some ideas on that already. We should try to nail that down. That'd be fun.
Yeah. I think when you take a look at that pod scenario, I don't think it's only going to be defense, honestly.
Yeah.
Right? People need to understand that you still got to score points in this league if you want to win a championship. You still got to score points in this league. So I think the residual malaise, if you want to call it, the Aaron Donald malaise, right, losing AD,
right.
When that wears off, people have to realize, we're still in it.
Yeah, right.
We're still in it. So
yeah.
You can't, we can't keep writing off seasons. We've written off 2 seasons. We got to get back into the swing of things. We got to get back into contention. We got to start building that mindset, and I think this is where it's going to start, bringing in big physical players. I still think that the Rams, if they're going to stick to that 3-4, I think they should go uber athletic and linebacker. Because if you look at this draft, we just did it with Edge Cooper. Think about it. If we had Chop Robinson, Ernest Jones, Edge Cooper, and Byron Young as your 4 linebackers, right? Obviously, we'd have to tweak a little bit of that philosophy, but would any one of that 4 ever come off the field?
Yeah, it'd be a really impressive young group.
Right? And you run that nickel behind them, 2-4-5 look, right? That'd be really impressive. Edge Cooper can drop into coverage. You could blitz with either Ernest Jones or Edge from the inside. And then you have Byron Young, because the Rams, they love to come with 4 and drop 7. You got to figure. It'd be back in the Blitzburg days. Try to figure out who's coming.
Yeah, and I think you're right. What you mentioned a second ago, don't don't discount the possibility that the Rams are going to see a wide receiver in the first round. There's going to be a receiver that they love, and McVay will jump all over it, possibly. And
That's it.
well, and you know what? It's funny how fans are, and I'm guilty of this. Is thinking we need a defensive lineman. Oh, we need a linebacker.
We'll still
And
get that.
and then when they draft Lad McConkey with the 19th overall pick, I'll be jumping for joy.
I honestly think they're going to go with Thomas Jr. I think he's going to fall right in their lap.
Yeah.
They might even fall back a couple of spots and just wait and see who comes their way. Even a Coleman, whatever it may be. But I honestly think Thomas is going to fall right into their lap. And I think you have to also look at the amplification factor, right? Your best player now is Matthew Stafford. Anything you do to make Stafford better is going to make your team better, right? That's the way you have to look at it. And what makes a quarterback better? A running game? Absolutely. We got Aaron Karen, right? And a healthy dose of running backs. We brought back the entire O-line, right? So that part of it, I think, is rock solid. And now you want to go maybe another wide receiver for next year as well as this year. And wide receivers can play as rookies. We've seen it all over this league. They can contribute as rookies. And then go D-line, linebacker, whatever it is. Make your defense super athletic. Make playmakers that are tough and clutch. You want guys that are tough and clutch, just like AD 99 was.
Yeah, and there's teams above us that the Rams have relationships with, healthy relationships. You know, the Falcons, the Bengals, so on. That they, that'd be really costly to move up that high. But they, there could be some.
And the Vikings, coming. Don't forget the Vikings, right?
Yeah, the Vikings. Hey, Paul. Hey, thanks a lot, man. This was fun. Love doing these, and I'm going to make a mental note to self next time we're drafting young, whatever it takes, and then we'll just let the pieces fall where they may, and then we'll compare it to these results and maybe see which strategy worked the best for us.
Yeah, this is definitely off the beaten path, but I think it's definitely functional, and definitely when you take a look at it, a lot of bang for your buck. So,
yeah, I like it. I like that we've basically, put to rest some questions with some position groups. We're just, okay, we locked that down. Assuming that these guys turn out, you're not going to hit on all these guys. That's just the nature of the beast, but if you hit on a half of these guys, 12 picks, if you hit on 6 or 7 of them, this team will be in good shape.
Absolutely. And now you don't have to rely on Darian Kendrick. If he does well, it's gravy.
Yeah. Okay, Paul. Thanks a lot. Really appreciate it. Out here from Rams Up.
99 forever, baby.
All right. See ya.